everybody. Welcome to Let's Pinball. Let me just check my audio levels here. Tonight we're going to be doing a little bit of Addams Family, which is technically a 1991, but a 1992 is actually what they call it. Bally Midway's game. And it's a great pin. I know most people have played it before. It's the most popular pin ever made. Wonder why that chat didn't clear, but who cares? So, let's get started.
Welcome, honored guest.
Cameras all look good, good angles. Well, that's the way to start. Let me adjust one quick thing. Ugh, missed the skill shot the second time.
Have a nice swim.
Game's got to warm up a little. Just turned it on a minute ago.
Raise the dead. Up to the cemetery. Come on, everybody.
No monkeying around on this machine, I'll tell you that much. I'll get into my groove in a minute. You there. Oh, that was dumb.
Why, thank you, babe. Look, everyone, we have guests.
Hey, Knocker, how are you?
Have a nice swim.
Come on, stay in there. Come on.
So man.
Oh. There we are. Camera kind of slipped. Trying to figure out where I want my face cam to be. It's always a difficult one to position correctly.
Let's go.
There we are. At least we got a skill shot out of that one. We need a little more light on the play field here.
Quicksand, fumes, toxic waste. It's all ours.
Alright, let's start a Mamushka here. Oh, missed it. That's too early on that one. Way too early. I'm gonna need music soon, I think. Ugh. I'm gonna need music now! Alexa, play Pandora Meatloaf Radio.
Meatloaf Radio from Pandora.
There we go. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Oh, might be an early night. I'm playing horrible pinball, so I might not want to play one. I mean, 12 million? That's not even a score. On the edge of the night, going up the middle on the edge of the night, so come on. Ah, doing the Pinball Hall of Fame. Always a good place to go. I think the thing I you know, they advertise that it's, you know, quarter operated and, you know, no tokens, but quite honestly, I almost wish they had tokens so that I could have some tokens from the Pinball Hall of Fame. I think it would be a nice thing for all of us to bring home, you know? But yeah, they're a quarters place, which I think is great. I mean, I like the flat fee pinball museum type style that they're doing at a lot of places, but sometimes when I bring friends, you know, I like, especially in Vegas, I want to go play pin, but not everybody does. And if it was $20 or something, I don't know if I'd get all the people that I want to go sometimes. There you go, thing. You finally did it right. Huh. Sit tight. Come on, would you go into that? Oh. I'm moving this camera. I've decided. Come on. Hold on tight. That's better. Now you guys can see me when I, there we go. When I back up. Deep dark night. There we go. Five rolls of quarters. That's a lot of quarters. That's a lot of play. I mean, because all of their stuff is set on basically original pricing. So all of their EMs are still a quarter. And same thing with early solid state stuff. I mean, they basically leave it on original pricing. So they don't even, you don't even get into any machines that are 50 cents or $1 until the really early, really late model Sterns. All right, you bloody magnet. There you go. I got one on the left. Other two are. I got two on the left now. He doesn't even realize there's one there yet, does it? The magnet actually saved that ball. Yeah, lost the other two though. No jackpot shot. Oh, it doesn't realize. Oh, there it goes. I was gonna say it doesn't. I had enough time there. 5 rolls of quarters. That's 200 quarters, you realize, right? That's a lot of play. All right, so this one I want to guess. No. Oh, missed that. How did I miss that jackpot shot? Oh, that was bad. I'll give you an answer in the morning. Let me sleep on it. Baby, let me sleep on it. I'll give you an answer in the morning. Not a lot of chat in the chat room today, guys. No one really interested in chatting and talking. I will do a systems check in a second to make sure that it's going out to all platforms, because we are streaming on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, course I picked Seance. The game's getting a little better. So the machine's getting warmed up. I'm getting warmed up. Did not bump that ball to me, though. There we go. That should have went in. That definitely went in, thankfully. Ah, crapper. I'm actually going to move this down a little bit to there. Click, click. I don't want you guys looking at the top of my head the whole time I'm playing. I don't know if anybody caught Dead Flip's stream the other day. He had set up a camera for the button on the... I don't even remember what he was playing. I think it was... It wasn't Guardians. I think it was... Deadpool. I think he was playing Deadpool, and he set up a button camera here, and which I thought was kind of funny because he it ended up being a crotch cam. I mean, like, because he's pretty tall, and so when he stands in front of the machine, you were getting his crotch, not his belly, like you do for me or other people. So it was kind of very funny. People were making comments about crotch cam all night. There it is. Lend a hand. I didn't even get to hit it. Oh, that wasn't good thinking. I wasn't paying attention. Not good thinking. That should have went in. Let's clear the ball out of here for a second. Second, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it up there. Damn magnets. Oof. Okay. Stop here for a second. Oh. Even after the stop, I couldn't hit the shot. know where on the flipper I want the ball to be to go up there. It just wasn't staying there. Oh, I'll hit the jackpot. Give me a minute. Oh, the ball got in the way. Get up there. Oh. Oh, come on. That was lame. Oh, still missed it. Alright, fine. Oh, you should have given me the extra ball. Oh, that was bullshit. That was bullshit. Alright. Now you put the ball back. You gonna give me my extra ball now? Before you kick it out? No, you're not. Why didn't you give me my extra ball? It went right where you wanted it to. Fine. Okay. Piece of shit. Oh! That was bullshit, everybody. I still get a spare ball back, though. Oh, missed it. Missed it again. Hey, Lich. Machine's being mean to me today. Probably because I haven't played it lately.
Have a nice swim.
Doesn't love me. You don't love me. You don't even like me. Great, I guess I've spent too much time with Tucky. I sound like Todd now. Yeah, it's Addams Family. I mean, usually I do pretty well on this game. Yeah, the color DMD on this is kind of beautiful. They're not cheap though, but just after seeing them so many times at different places and really liking the extra glamour that it gives it. Oh, I gotta hit a bear ramp first. Oh, I don't want to hit a bear ramp. Yes, I do. I want to hit a bear ramp, but I do not want to go into seance mode, because that'll piss me off right now. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, definitely. I'm super happy with the new job. Nice to have money again. Or will be once I get paid. I sold Sopranos this past week. Yeah, it was time. I'm picking up a roller games instead. So that will be in 2 or 3 weeks. Then I'll pick up the roller. Ugh. And then I want to buy a new machine for myself. I've never bought a new pin before, and I think I've been thinking about a Wonka, but I don't think I'm gonna do it. I thought of maybe waiting until Guns N' Roses comes out, but I know someone with a collector's edition hero. I know someone with a collector's edition dialed in, and I love dialed in, so thinking of buying that. Thinking about it. But he really didn't want to hit that shot. Alright, long plunge here. You don't like dialed in? Love dialed in. Great game. It's like this. You gotta learn it and love it.
Go, man.
You gotta keep it rocking. Be a box hero. Alright, let it fall straight, let it fall straight, and oh, we missed it. And again. Come on. There we go. Really? Your favorite Jersey Jack is Wizard? Wow. Most people's favorite Jersey Jack is actually Pirates. Because it has such a deep gameplay. Oh my god, I can't believe I missed that. I'll set it off there. Come on, go in. There we go. Yes. I can see that. Woz was the first pin that had a full LCD in it. Supposed to go up that ramp to get out of my way. I gotta play some stall ball here. When you got 3 balls here, you need to stall a couple of them. I can't seem to stall any of them, except to lose them. Yeah, there's a lot to fix, especially if you get the higher models with that rock and play field up there. There's a lot going on in that game. But each character that you pick has different properties that change the gameplay, which is really, really interesting in my mind. I think he really did something innovative there. And innovation in pinball... Oh, come on, that was lame. Innovation in pinball is rare at the moment. And I think that's why I like dialed in, too. I mean, even though the selfie cam thing is kind of strange and creepy, it was new. It was different. And same thing with the some of the other stuff. I mean, And I feel like you get a complete game when you buy a Jersey Jack. Like, I mean, most of their games have already built-in headsets and external volume controls. I mean, the games are really nice. I think Dialed In was the first one to also do the QR codes so that you could share your high score. It was the first game that Pat had done in a little while, so that kind of has a little bit of panache with it. That was a useless shot. You just please go up that ramp. Oh, yeah, would you hit that? Would you outlane? Would you do anything for me that I want you to do as opposed to what I don't want you to do? Little bitch. So I'm not going to stream long tonight. There's a lot of streamers that come on later in the night on Thursday nights. I just wanted to play a little pin, and if I'm playing and the rig is set up on the machine I was going to play on, I'm going to play. Yeah, a small club in Rhode Island would be nice. I mean, we have the one here in Nashua, and you know, Lich, you don't have to do it on your own. There's a lot of people who'll put machines in if they have a place that's safe and that they know they'll be appreciated, you know. And you always know that I've got EMs sitting out my butt around here, and I've got more coming in. I have I have that 72 Williams in the garage, the Big Star. Haven't even got a chance to look at that. I have not even had the chance to look at that one yet. I did get a chance. I actually have to go in and remember to look. I have a Space Time down the end here. The 4-player version, really nice. It's a player's machine. It takes a beating. It needs a new coil for the reset coil. I have to remember to order that. I'm out of 2.5-inch black rubbers here at the house. I need to order those as well. So I'm putting a Marco order in, and I have to remember to get the number off that coil before I forget it again. And then once that's been redone, that'll be up for sale. That soccer is still hanging out here. I haven't sold that yet. And I have I've got 2 Gottliebs coming in, both solid state, a Panthera and a Charlie's Angels. Although I might have promised the Charlie's Angels back glass to somebody because it's in really good shape, and I know someone who needs one, so that might end up going there. I will read your text. I saw something about Duotron needing something, but I didn't see the whole message. Duotron needs new 10 coil too. EM is slacking. Are those and who made Duotron? Are those common coils? Oh, come on, get up there. I wanted that. A good head start. You wanna shut up the night. You wanna shut down the sun. You wanna shut away the... It's a Gottlieb? Oh, then those are available then. Together and listen to the radio, so now it's so strong. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm sucking tonight. Lich, this is the night you should try to challenge me on Addams Family. I'm getting scores like 16 million. I mean, come on. Should be a 0 at least after that. Well, that was a good shot. That was just dumb luck, though. The ashes to prove it. Good song. I should be getting hyped, right? All right. Hit the bear ramp. Go around here, hit the staircase, miss the staircase. Alright, slow down. Thing flips, what the hell? Ooh, bear kick, and a thing flips. There we go. Hurricane, I'm not familiar with that one. What's Hurricane? Oh, I get playing with my food. It's because I'm exhausted. Well, I'm not, Chuck, I'm not totally exhausted. Today is the first day I've actually been upbeat and awake this week. The rest of the week, I've come home and crashed. And only been getting about 5-6 hours of sleep, if I'm lucky. But last night I got some decent sleep, and I was in the Burlington office yesterday, which is closer to home. Come on, go in there! He said. Yeah, that's not good. The Burlington office is closer to home, and it's been recently remodeled, so there's like, it's just gorgeous. That's all I gotta say. The Burlington office is really nice, and they just have a really, really great cafeteria with. They don't have a pinball machine in it. I will say that there's no pinball machine, but there's 2 arcade games and a cocktail Pac-Man multicade as well. Foosball, shuffle. What's the shuffle thing with the sand? It's not really a shuffle alley because it's not bowling, but you guys know what I mean. Table, ping pong and foosball and air hockey. They've got all of that. Yeah, I know I could get a pinball in there easily. Soda fountain and all, just a great, great kitchen. But they have leather reclining massage chairs over by like where the PlayStations and stuff are. And so in between the interviews I needed to do and some meetings, like shuffleboard. But shuffleboard I think has what do you call it? Don't shuffleboards, it's a puck with a tool that you push. This is like the tabletop thing you see in bars. So, yeah, they have every toy in there except a pinball machine. And so, I had a conference call. I just sat in one of those reclining chairs and just, like, vegged out for a little while, which was so nice. And they had all of these little temporary office workspaces everywhere, so you could literally just, because everybody gets laptops, no one has desktops, so you could literally just kind of work from anywhere in the building. So it was really nice. I threw my AirPods on, had a conference call right there, and had a good time. Alright, so I got an extra ball lit, which I desperately need, because I'm sucking at this game tonight. Okay, I gotta hit a bear ramp to clear it. Now I gotta get I gotta get the other extra ball, but maybe we'll try to get something else going while we're at it. Oh! Damn you! Well, I got an extra ball. Well, that was only ball 3. Yeah, so I use 2 Logitech cameras, one for the back glass and one for the playfield. The face camera's a GoPro, but those are getting replaced. Those are getting replaced with Sony Handycams. So I'm gonna get a couple Sony Handycams. Yeah, you're probably right, Chuck. I probably am exhausted. But it is what it is. Yeah, so I'm gonna put Lich. I'm putting two Sony Handycams in, so that I can zoom in and out. Well, so the focus problem could be 2 things. It could be on the camera or not. So I have I have the USB 4K capture card, the Elgato capture card. It's a tiny little inline dongle that you put in, plugs in USB, and you can plug an HDMI into that. I had looked at a lot of the other Elgato solutions, but I am determined to run my streams at 1080 at 60 all cameras and not downscale anything from that. And I know a lot of people, when they say they're streaming, they're doing 720 for some of the stuff at 60, but you need stuff that does 60 frames. And the Elgato pass-through card, the little 4-banger one that they make, that seems really nice and seems like a great deal, does not do 60 frames. You need to get the you need to get the single ones. So I decided to go with the little USB ones, so I could use them in the computer. So I wasn't forced to carry a case with me, even though I do. And I know you haven't seen my whole streaming setup as a streaming setup. Most of my gear was at Pintastic in the seminar rooms. I have a small computer case that's only about, I don't know, a foot wide, 9 inches tall, and then standard depth. Because I wanted to make sure that I could encode 1080 at 60 frames. I wanted to make sure I had a really good video card to do hardware encoding with. So this machine has a 2080. It's not a Ti, but it's an NVIDIA 2080 card with 8 gigs of memory. So it really does encoding nicely. I've been looking at some of the other streaming solutions out there. There's a little Sling Studio makes a solution that you can do wireless cameras with, which I think is really interesting. I see people trying to do things with Raspberry Pis to try to get the little micro cameras on the Raspberry Pis to do that, and then push it through its own separate network and run those off of power over Ethernet Wi-Fi Ethernet switches. So the only thing you'd have to have is Cat6 cable, and then the computer takes all the workload there. I'm not sure about that. Hey, Lou. Or Mom. Not sure which one you are. So the rig itself, if you go onto my Twitch, so Lich, go to letspinball.com. It'll put you directly on my Twitch. If you go down the bottom of my Twitch page, there is a set of little boxes down there that I can't. Let me finish this, and I will. Well, I just finished it, so just let one go right down the drain on me. It's both of you.
Go, man.
Pinball! Yeah, so, Lich, if you go to the Twitch page, there's a gear section at the bottom. I forget what it's exactly called. Seance. Not 3 times. And you can get it on Amazon. The tripod and everything is cheap. It's the mounting brackets and the mounting arms that I use to get everything in the right spot that get expensive. But you can get 3 mounting brackets, 3 clips, the tripod, and everything you need for less than $300. So it's not that expensive. Oof. The flashing lights, I almost didn't see the ball with the strobe. Oh, that's right. I'm in seance mode. What am I doing? No, I don't want to go straight to the ball. I wanted to get up that ramp. Alright, magnets are stopped anyways. Why'd the vault open? Well, I'm glad Em knows what I'm talking about. But yes, so there is a... I can't remember the name of the site. Give me a second. So yes, I went onto a website that does kits for video stuff, and I built the kit that essentially I have here, and then I'm building another one of what my next generation kit's gonna look like, which is gonna be the same, but I'm gonna replace the GoPro with handy cams and probably the back. I don't know. I want to do 4 cameras, so I'm getting 2 handy cams, and which means I need another Elgato USB dongle as well. But I'm buying 4K gear just to feature proof. It's a little bit more money, and I'm not going to use it yet. Oh, I missed that shot. Missed it again. But I figure the capture cards, they're not that expensive, and I might as well get the better 4K ones now because they don't do 4K at 60, but they do all the resolutions up to 4K at 60 frames, and that's the important part. You need something 60 frames here on the play field. If not, your ball's going to be jumping and jittery. And part of the reason why I'm buying the handy cams, I mean, I can make this rig work for me. I mean, this is quite honestly perfectly fine for use at the house, for use at the club, for use at Pintastic or anywhere else. And I've got it down to that I'm really only taking with me what I need. So I'm not taking a whole tub of stuff like I was, and 3 monitors and all sorts of stuff. I've really got the rig slimmed down. But I want the better cameras for when I'm shooting out at TNT, because I'm going to be doing that at least once a month. And if you saw that stream, Lich, I know you did. This rig's really built for pinball, and so trying to do it, trying to stream console games. When we streamed Paperboy and Bags and things like that, it's just different. And so I need the flexibility of having cameras that actually have a good zoom on them. Yes, you have to get a Lester. That's the one mod on this game that I don't understand why they didn't just put it in from the beginning. Well, thank you, Chuck. I'm glad to hear that I look like shit. I love you guys too. Bags! I do have to say that was a lot of fun. Playing DDR with those guys, not so much. But playing Bags, that was pretty good. Oh, I thought I could have snuck that one in. Arizona, all the way to Tacoma, Philadelphia. I thought I lost it. I was backing away from the machine to get mad. Tilt, tilt, tilt. I think I'm out of warnings, aren't I, Lich? Keep on rocking me, baby. Keep on rocking me, baby. Oh, good. I'm glad that didn't go in. I don't want seance mode. Of all modes right now, I do not want seance. Keep on rocking. And I got it. Yes, she did tell me that. So, Mike, Lich, the thing you have to look at when you're looking at those cameras. So I have a D7000 Nikon. It was literally top of the line when I bought it a few years ago. I have really good glass in it. I'm a Nikon person. But that camera will not output 1080 at 60. It will record and shoot 1080 at 60. But the output port on the side of those cameras don't always do that higher resolution. So you gotta try that. Make sure it can do 60. And if you want to do 720 at 60 frames, that's fine. Most people, I got an extra ball for outlaning to special. the 1080 is less important than the 60 frames. Sometime, I think it was earlier this week. Yeah, it was. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I was down here checking my email. I had Dead Flip on in the background, and he was talking about some streaming stuff that he was trying to do, which was basically have people be able to stream into him ingest it, and then him turn around and stream out, and have. What he wants to do is be able to have people with their cell phones at league nights kind of just pop in and say, hey, we're doing this at league, and we're doing this, and we're doing this, correspondent from the field style, and then cut out of it. And so I helped him do some testing on that the other day, and I think he was impressed on how clear my stream looks, which I was really kind of happy about, because he really does have a high quality stream. Hey Shannon, how are you? I'm doing well. Owl's always around, so hopefully he's doing well. Owl, you were on that stream the other day too. Yeah, I think that's fantastic what Dead Flip's trying to do, because I would totally, you know, for the New Hampshire league nights that we have up here, I'd bring my gear over and stream to him and let him pop us in and out. I think that'd be neat. It really puts us another step closer to having somebody doing pinball all the time. You know, I watched Dead Flip this afternoon. He did a kind of a post-breakfast stream his time, because he's an hour off from me here on the East Coast. And it was nice to have someone to watch playing pin while I was at work. You know, yeah, I know you're going to tell me straight to the vault. I don't want to go straight to the vault. I want to go up that ramp. Oh, that was almost a vault shot by accident. Well, thank you, Cornelius. That's really nice. Well, I'm going to... Greg is your name. Greg from Ohio. I would suggest that you buy a machine. You don't have to spend a lot of money on your first machine. You can always get, you know, a late 70s, early 80s, mid 80s machine. You can still pick up Gottlieb's of solid state in that era that are in player condition for around $1,000, and you'll learn about how everything works, and if you hate it, you move on, and if you don't, and you love it like I did, a week later you will have 10 or 11 pinball machines like I do. I bought my first machine on a Sunday afternoon. By that Wednesday, I had 6 machines in the house. Hey Carrie, how are you? I see you on Facebook all the time, but I never get to actually chat with you. Come on, stay down, stay in. Thank you. Bang. So I'm actually going to start replacing rubbers in this machine soon. These ones are in good shape, but I went to the silicone rubbers for the on the flippers, and now I'm thinking, on purple. Purple's my favorite color. And so I'm really thinking about putting some more purple accents on this machine. I'm going to, if I can get the ball to the ramp that I need it to go to. All right, 1, 2. Come on. I missed it. That stunk. That's dead. No jackpot on this one. So Carrie, there are people on Twitch doing pinball. I'm streaming to Twitch right now at the same time, so you can watch me right now on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube simultaneously. I use a product called Restream, which allows me to shoot it out to everybody at the same time, which is nice. and then I get a consolidated view of the chat. But for your consolidated view of the chat, you have to actually look at the video pretty close. It's there. So you can see everybody in Twitch. Ooh, that was a super. Come on. Alright, stall. Get out of the way. There you go. Stay there for a minute. Missed that too. Ooh. Come on, I want the super. Alright, stall you. You go there. I don't care where you go right now. Ah, I missed it. Chat, give me 1 second. I want this. Ah, I missed it. Oh, I got it. Damn it. I drained that ball because this machine's not... Oh, but I got it. That was nice. Alright, we're going to hear a crack in a minute. Click. So, Cornelius, I will say this. If you want a more dependable, reliable machine, go with a Bally Williams from that time frame. If you just want your first machine and you want to start playing and you want to start repairing and learning things, Gottliebs are nice. But Gottliebs in that generation do have some quirky things that you need to do to them to make them work right. And one of them is running ground cables to every circuit board. And I would also suggest replacing a power supply. They're not expensive. You can get a Rotten Dog power supply to go in a System 80 Gottlieb for about $90. So to get back to it, Carrie, yes, Twitch does do usually video games, but people are doing pinball on it, and there's a good pinball community going there, so we stream there as well. Yes, purple is an addiction, Purple Tapper. I like that. And they do multiply so quickly, and they get expensive. Lich, are you still in here? Lich has 20 plus machines, I think, and he's also doing video game, arcade style games now too. And so, I mean, I thought it was bad in my house when we didn't have a dining room, and now we've got them all in the basement, and I've got some stored in the garage. Lich, yeah, you have 22. Lich, I don't know what you're gonna do. I mean, you're gonna have to like move beds out of the house soon, I think. Let's get to that point. The thing with streaming pinball that I think people forget, I mean, getting on Twitch and streaming video games, I did that for a while. Streaming pinball is a lot harder than streaming a video game. Playing pinball is more physical than a regular video game. Oh, you refurbed a 84 Road jukebox. I missed that. So I have, excuse me. Alright, I'm gonna wait for the thing. Hey, Duck. Your meeting must be boring. I will text you what we want for dinner. I don't care, by the way. Come on, turn the ball so I can get the ball back. There we go. It's wedged there. Did everybody just see that? That's awesome. Hey, guys. Lou and Mom, good night. Alright, I am... Oh, nope, there it goes. It's gonna go this time. It's gonna go. There it is. Yeah, so we have a jukebox in the house now too. I bought it a couple years ago at the Fantastic auction. It was a pretty good deal. It's a 45, and it doesn't really need any work to it, except I do really need to change the I need to change the band that goes to the turntable inside. That is doesn't play at the right speed because it's worn and old. And like, I mean, Meatloaf sounds great on it, but some other songs don't. And that is what you call a slap save that worked. That is what you call a ball draining. All right, Carrie, thanks for stopping in. It was so nice to chat with you, even briefly. Sorry, I was a little distracted, but we should catch up. So, Lich, I actually have a soda gun in my house that's all plumbed into the bag-in-boxes. I bought that a few years ago, and I love it. I don't actually have a Coke machine, like a coin-operated machine, but I have a ton of other coin-op stuff in the house. I've got candy machines, I've got sanitary napkin dispensers in the bathrooms that take a dime. My house has a lot of antiques in it, and I've got stamp machines, you know, the stamp vending machines that you would you'd see in old drugstores and things. So, at one point I did want an old Coke machine, but I never found the one I wanted at the right price. Thrice! Get those damn magnets off. Oh, come on, give me. I want the extra ball. Give me the extra ball. Let's go for it. Oh. There we go. Ugh. I actually want a neon arcade sign. Well, Cornelius, please follow me. See me when I'm online, and feel free to friend me and send me messages. My website, Let's Pinball, currently just points to my Twitch feed, but will be having some of the other information on it. And my YouTube page, I actually started working on a video about buying and selling pinball machines, about what to look for, what should be done if you're buying a machine, what you should consider looking at as a new person trying to buy a pinball machine. A lot of people just try to put lipstick on the pig. Take a machine that's been filthy. They don't strip it all down. They don't do all the LEDs. They just kind of wipe it down and check a couple things, make sure it works, and send it out the door. And it's not what you want if you're a first timer. And you know, this isn't a business for me. This is really a hobby that I love. And I sell pinball machines on the side because I want different selection of machines in my house. And so that's a natural way for me to buy a machine. I know how to repair them. I repair it. I play it. I fix it. I play it. I fix it. I find all the stuff. And then 2 years later, I sell it. The only exception to that is this machine and my wife's Funhouse. I'm not allowed to sell either of these machines. Get up that ramp. Thank you. You were supposed to get up that one too. But... And I lose all the balls. I didn't even get to hear my jackpot music. Nothing. They took it away from me, guys. I need more music.
Let's go.
Alexa, next. Boom, boom, boom. Oh yeah, Lich. You know, I was unemployed for the last approximately 6 months while I looked for a new job. I do cloud computing for large companies, and after leaving my last company, I've been unemployed for a little while, and having a house up here with land in this part of the country is not cheap, and even though I only have a little over half an acre, property taxes here are quite high and mortgages aren't cheap. So I was getting worried that I was going to have to sell Addams Family. The good news is that's more than 2 months mortgage payments if I did sell my Addams, because no offense to you, Lich, mine's in a little bit better condition than yours. Although you've got a lot more mods and things in yours than I do. Oh, I'm going for the extra ball. Don't worry about that. You know, but any day of the week, I could sell this for $8,000+ and pay my mortgage for a few months. And the problem is with that, and I've told people this, the only way I'm ever selling this machine is I'm going to have to be really desperate, or I found a gold edition that was home use only. If I find a home use only gold edition, I will sell my Addams Family. You know, and it's no different than this. I have the gold edition chip in this machine, so there would be nothing different except it would have the gold rails, it would have the gold lockdown bar, it would have the gold legs, and it would have a numbered plate on it, a serial number plate. But I look at this machine as, this is the machine that made me fall in love with pinball. And I know a lot of people feel that this machine's overstreamed and overplayed and all of that. I feel it's just, this was a very, that function right there, the machine hitting the ball itself and learning from it and self-correcting, this was the first machine that did that. You know, this was the first machine that had a lot of great theming on it, and you know, it's got Pat Lawler's 5-column design. Oh, I'm not paying attention. I'm talking too much because I was supposed to snap that faster. And this is the most produced machine in the world. There are 21,070, I think. I have to double check that. I think it was 20,700. No, was it 20,700 or 20,070 of the non-gold edition, and then there was 1,000 gold editions made a year later, and that's it. And they're still one of the most expensive used machines on the market because they were beloved by the community so much. The theming was great, the play was great, this play field is amazing, the whole thing. And so I want one of those 1,000 that are out there. And if I ever find a home use only one for a price I can afford, I will buy that and sell this.
Have a nice swim.
Other than that, you know, I have you can find me on Pinside as Princess Jillian. I have a whole wish list of machines I want there. Most of them are late 80s, early to mid 90s Bally Williams machines, just because they made such great stuff back then. I need to get my Pinball 2000 machine down here with my playfields. I do have a Star Wars Episode 1 and a Revenge from Mars upstairs. I don't stream it much because it's upstairs in the dining room, because we never moved it down here to the arcade. If I get that moved here, and I've got to get a capture card for the display, so I can pull it right off the computer. If I do that, I will definitely be streaming that a lot more. You know, they often talk about, well, you know, the stuff at the end is sometimes the most mature technology that a company made, even if they did go out of business. I feel that way about Pinball 2000. When you're playing those two machines, you are actually playing the most advanced technology that Bally Williams had at the time, and as a result, the flippers are just amazing, the slingshots, everything is just quality on that. And It's unfortunate it's not down here. I stream it a lot more. And I have both play fields for it, so I can do both games. And if anybody's not familiar with Pinball 2000, I can fill them in on what that is. It has a special sheet of glass on the playfield that and it has a monitor in the head. How in the world can I afford this many pins? I buy them really cheap, to tell you the truth. My newest machine currently, because I sold Sopranos this past weekend, my newest machine is a 1999, the Pinball 2000 platform. So, right there, that should tell you something. This machine, even though I wouldn't, if someone offered me $9,000 for this machine, I wouldn't sell it, because it's worth that. It's worth more to me. I'm not gonna be able to replace one for that, so I wouldn't sell it for that. Get up that ramp. But a lot of my machines that I have here at the house are actually they're older VEM machines, and those you can pick up pretty cheap if you know how to do the work. And secondarily, you have to ask yourself, this is a machine in your house. Who are you trying to impress, right? So, do you need the latest, greatest limited edition? You may want that, and you should buy that if you want that. But if you like I do, middle solid state machines, things from anywhere from the early 80s to the early 90s, do you care the condition they're in? Because you're not going to find one brand new. If you want one fully restored, they're a lot of money. But on average, between $2,000 to $3,000 to $4,000, you can pretty much buy any machine on the market between 1982, 81, all the way up to 92. There's exceptions. Fun houses are more. Addams Families are more. Whirlwinds, things like that. The specialty ones are more. But on average, you can get a decent game for not a lot of money. So a lot of my games are not, huge successful titles. Yes, I have a Funhouse. Yes, I have an Addams Family, and I have a Pinball 2000 with Revenge from Mars and Star Wars Episode 1. Other than those four, I have Rack 'em Up, Royal Flush Deluxe, Soccer, Pro Football, Time Zone, Big Star. And I've got two more coming in soon, Panthera and Charlie's Angels. I mean, these are games that are from the 70s, early 70s all the way up to early 80s. And you can find these machines in player condition, which means the playfield's beat up and not everything, some of the plastics are broken, and they're not perfect, but they play perfectly. They just aren't cosmetically perfect. And you can pick these machines up for anywhere from $500 to $1,500 every day of the week, and that's my sweet spot. So I hold my entertainment money out of my budget, and I buy pinball machines, and then I fix them and try to flip them for a little bit of a profit, so I can buy the expensive machines that I want for my collection long term. So, and that's how I think a lot of people in the pinball community do it. Because if you buy a machine, you have to not be intimidated to fix it, which means you have to know how to solder and you have to know how to turn screws. When it comes to the solid state electronics, there's a lot of great YouTube videos out there. Todd Tuckey's channel, no shock, I'm going to plug him because he's a friend. But Todd has his whole section of his channel and he doesn't do them much anymore because he's talked about all the early tips that he knows about. He had a Todd's Tips section for a long time. And, he explained a lot about how to fix some of the ground problems on machines and what happens when this, and look at your batteries, look for corrosion. There's a lot you can learn from that. And all revved up, but no place to I've been talking so much I didn't even realize music was still running. It goes my monetization that I don't have on YouTube, so. See, if I backed it up, you'd see me boogieing. Okay, good.
Have a nice swim.
So yeah, I mean, I have some really expensive machines, but I bought this Addams Family years ago, and I didn't pay. I paid less than $6,000 for this machine. Let me put it that way. So, you know. Bags! Actually, you know, I want a bags now. I may have to, like, convince Todd to give me a deal on that. Oh, you're also... Okay, that makes sense. Savage, how are you? All bed up, but no place to go. Yeah, Bags is Bags was fun, but it was a party game. You know, it's cornhole. The way we played it, teams, you know, 2-on-2, that made it a fun game. I'm so glad we streamed that, because that's been a joke that I was there from the beginning, which was kind of interesting. Lich, you were there too. So the bags thing came because at the Pintastic auction in 2017, I think is what it was. Oh, I missed the 4-way combo. Oh well. There was a full-size bag game there, and Todd started making fun of it because it was the stupidest name for a game ever. And that was, I think that was the event I may have met Todd at. And so we were making jokes about it, and I said, you know, cornhole's making this huge comeback, Todd. I wouldn't be surprised if people would love this game. And then he got one in his shop as a joke, and lo and behold, we played it, and that game is great. People love cornhole. And so to have a video game, my neighbor spent, I think, $400 or $500 on professional cornhole boards that have his college fraternity's colors and logo and everything on it. And he's really proud of these things. And he has friends over, and they play cornhole in the backyard and do their whole thing. And I can tell you that if I showed him a cornhole and said, you're gonna love this damn thing, showed him a bags and said you could play cornhole in your basement all winter long, and you know, this and that, he would buy one. He's a doctor. He's got money. I actually only know he's a doctor because his license plate is Dr. Phil, and I'm friends with his wife, and she says he's not that type of doctor. So I actually don't know what he does, but he's obviously not a therapist or on television. That's all I know. I should really find out what Dr. Phil does. I should invite Dr. Phil and Melissa over to play pinball on stream one day. They're both a riot, so. You know, when I was a kid, we used to go to this timeshare place every year, and go skiing last week of January every year. And they had a bowling arcade game there in the game room. You know, with the big trackball in the middle. You guys can't see my hands. The big trackball in the middle, and, you know, yeah, the kids love bags. And you know, it was a bowling game of all things. And I shoved quarters into that machine for hours. You know, and it was a bowling game. It's amazing what people will play when it's there. And I think I liked it because it was more tactile than, it was much more tactile than something like than your standard Ms. Pac-Man type of game, you know? It might have been a Silver Strike. I remember that it was a trackball in the middle, Lich, with buttons on either side of it so that you could adjust your curve. You have one. I'm gonna have to come over and play it sometime, and then I'll be able to tell you if it's the right one. It was a lot of fun, and you know, I was like probably, I'm thinking back, I was probably 10, 11, 12, and I thought I was shoving quarters in this thing like crazy, and I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. Now normally I long plunge, but I want the extra ball, so I'm gonna try to hit the skill shot. And the reason I normally missed it anyways. I don't remember if it was 8-player. I honestly don't remember much about it except I played it a bunch. And I spent money to play it because it wasn't on free play. Don't stop me now. So, my regular viewers, you know I really, really want a Meatloaf pinball machine. But as time goes on, I'm thinking that there needs to be a different musical pinball machine made before Meatloaf. And I'm starting to think it's Queen. I think we need to make a Queen pinball machine. I want a Queen pinball machine, and I want a Meatloaf pinball machine.
Well played. Shoot again. Let's go.
So, we're coming up on 8:30. I'll probably stream for a little bit more before we, yes, I agree to it. Queen needs to happen. And I'm surprised that Queen hasn't happened already.
You've done it.
I've been thinking of rebranding machines. You know, that's why I didn't sell, let me get into Showtime. I didn't sell Pro Football when I was thinking, but I was thinking of bringing Pro Football to Pintastic. The back glass is in horrible condition. The play field's in really rough condition. Play's amazing though, and it's a great game. It's a 72 Gottlieb. It's solid. Gottlieb made such solid hardware back then. But I was gonna bring it, and someone talked me out of it because they know how much I like playing it, and they were like, "You've been talking about retheming a machine. Why don't you retheme this to a Patriots?" And so I think that's what I'm gonna do. No, I think they will. I think they will make a Queen machine. I think they will. I think just, my guess is the licensing's probably too much money. I can't see how a pinball manufacturer did not approach Queen yet. You know, and so, you know, there will be one. Long before there's a Meatloaf one, there'll be a Queen one. That's okay. But you know, I often think that with the resurgence of pinball the way it is, and if we look at Orange County Choppers as an example of a company that was able to do boutique, custom motorcycles back in the day for big companies, I think there's going to be a point where a lot of these companies are going to want custom pinball machines for their game rooms, for their offices, for their whatever. And right now there's not a huge market for that, right? And I think if you had somebody who was taking old EMs and old solid states and retheming them for companies, repainting them, you know, some of them, you know, for the early EMs, replacing the chime boxes with sounds could probably be done. Or replacing soundboards in early solid states with something that, or reprogramming them with something that could be reprogrammed that fits the theme of the company, and then you repaint the playfield and you move some objects around. You would be able to provide a really nice machine to a company for their break room and what have you, and the companies would be willing to pay for it. And I honestly believe companies would actually pay more money for a newer, custom-built machine to bring to trade shows and things, especially in the tech sector. I can see... I need to turn this music down. I can see a lot of tech companies would want to have something like that in a trade show booth. You know, custom themed and branded to them. Probably good money in it. Problem is I can't paint. Like, I was at TNT a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and Todd asked me to help with something, and it involved flat black and a paintbrush touching up something, and I just couldn't do it. And I don't drink that much caffeine. It's not like my hands aren't steady or something. I can't paint. So, why are Jersey Jacks more expensive than Stearns? Well, there's a couple reasons for that. I think Jersey Jack, being a newer company, having to set up the manufacturing facility, they need to recoup the investment of, and it's a substantial investment of building that facility to do the pins. And so my guess is that at some point they will be able to produce games cheaper, but right now their cost per unit is just too high because of the cost of the overhead that it took to build out the infrastructure for the company. And it's a natural thing to want to recoup that investment in a, business-wise, probably a 5-year term or so. And so my guess is they probably have a roadmap of, if we produce this many machines at this, we will be able to pay down this debt at, a 5 or a 10-year rate. Standard business stuff, right? Yes, I was at TNT playing bags and tilting machines. The problem is this machine's too heavy to manhandle. I don't know if anyone else has ever done this, but if you actually put the legs on tight on an Addams Family, it's hard to get this sucker to move. So to finish the Jersey Jack thought, I think that's why Jersey Jacks are getting a premium at the moment. I don't know if it'll always be that way, or if my belief is he's recouping investment. He probably Jack had investors, I know, and may have a term to pay them off or something. Not sure. So my guess is he's doing that. I don't think you'll see a decrease in price, but I think what's going to end up happening is, as time goes on, Stern will start increasing its prices, but Jersey Jack will keep them the same, and the two will catch up to each other. I didn't get my extra ball. So that's my thought. I can imagine that getting a pinball manufacturing company up and running had to not be cheap. I don't know if you've seen any videos of Jack's facility. I plan on going there with Todd soonish. I mean, if you haven't seen a video of his facility, hop on YouTube. I know Todd's done a couple tours for open houses at Jersey Jack's, and so have many other people. And I think you'll see that just the amount of parts and infrastructure that they have just to move the machines around the assembly line, the tools that needed to be purchased to make the games. There was no way all of that infrastructure was paid off by now. you know, they've only produced 6 games. There's just no way. 5 games. Sorry, the 6th is in the work. So there's just no way. So that's my opinion of why they're more expensive. I think the better question for me is, why are we buying pins that aren't finished? All right, so let's think about this for a second. We're gonna pick on Stern. I like Stern, but we're gonna pick on him. And what we're gonna pick on him about is the fact that Jurassic Park basically shipped this past week, right? And they already pushed a code update to it. There's not enough machines out in the wild yet to even know what the bugs are yet, and we're already pushing code updates. That's number one. Number two, if you buy a pro machine, it's not a full game. I didn't get that extra ball. That extra ball was lit on ball 1, and I didn't get it. So, when you buy a pro version of a Stern game, most games that they have don't have the upper or lower play field, don't have some very compelling feature that's included in the game. And it's almost like you bought half the game. And then you have to pay the extra $2,000 to get the premium edition, to get the finished game. And then if you want it signed and pretty and different and numbered and all of that, you know, that's going to cost you an extra couple $1,000. I feel when you get a Jersey Jack machine, there's no play difference between the what he calls standard, limited, and collector's editions. The playfield's the same. The only one that was different on is Wonka, and I hope that he does not continue doing that. The Wonka difference is very slight. It's the Wonka Vader, which is a ball capture. So it's not that compelling. That makes you want to spend an extra $2,000. But on Stearns, I really feel like a pro is not a complete machine. You need a premium, and then if you're vain, you want a limited edition. It would have to be a pretty compelling game for me to get a limited edition, though, and that's why I feel that way about this machine. Like I wanted a limited edition of Addams because I feel it's compelling enough. You'd love to get your first machine from Todd and have everybody sign it. Yeah, I think the guys at TNT do excellent work. I have the utmost respect for Frank and Kurt. I've seen them work in action. I've seen the quality of what they do. It's a treat to go there and be part of that team when we're streaming and we're doing things. Todd's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and he's absolutely hilarious. If you think he has a different personality on his YouTube channel than in person, you're wrong. He is a larger-than-life character all the time, everywhere he goes, everything he does. Todd's a good guy. Great family man, too. I mean, he loves his kids to death. He'll do anything for his kids, including clean up his health and lose weight, which I'm so proud of him with the amount of weight that Todd's lost since his heart attack. I think he finally realized eating the way he wasn't gonna get him anywhere, or not anywhere good at least. If you had an L.E. Stern, people would think you're a drug dealer. Well, I don't know where you're from, but I don't think people, it's interesting. I don't think the average person realizes how expensive a pinball machine is, except to know that it's a luxury item. And when it comes down to it, you can get cheap pinball machines, and you can get a lot of cheap pinball machines, but you have to be able to maintain them. And Todd really made his money in a day where he he was able to distinguish himself above his competition with his quality. Because the people he was selling to in Philadelphia weren't people that were going to fix their own machines. They wanted something that was rock solid and in their home, and they didn't want breakdowns all the time. And that's very telling, because I actually wanted to buy my first pinball machine when I was 23 years old. I had an older business acquaintance that I'd been to his house many times, and he had pinball machines, and I loved them. And he told me, well, they're always broken. I'm always calling somebody in here to fix these things, and da-da-da-da-da. And because he didn't have that talent. And so that turned me off of it, because I'm like, I'm going to spend hundreds to buy a pinball machine, and it's going to be broken all the time. That one's a good one. Tennessee, can't I tell by your accent? So I think Todd was able to, in his original marketing days, really distinguish himself with quality. He had his infomercial. He became a local celebrity in the Philadelphia area. He got known for selling a quality product, and then in turn that just grew and expanded in the internet age, when he stopped doing infomercials and started doing his YouTube channel. And so sorry, I'm paying attention to the game again. Bang! Oh, I missed it. Send you both up the ramp. Get one of you over there at least. Gone. There we go. One jackpot shot, that's it. That's it, kids. One jackpot shot. 25 million is not a bad jackpot shot value there. Oh, I gotta get the extra ball. Around that ramp. Oop. Start the second mode. I just tripled up on modes here. Oh, I can never make that damn shot. Where am I? My extra ball, lights blinking, seance, shoot. Okay. Oh, really? Oh, God. Pinbot is not that hard to find. You can find a player conditioned pinbot for about $2,000. They're actually not hard to find. There's quite a few of them out there. A lot of people liked them. So they didn't get trashed. I mean, interestingly enough, the games that got trashed were the games that people didn't like, the obscure ones. And a lot of them were Gottlieb's, because at Gottlieb's height in the 70s and early 80s, they were just whipping out machines faster than they could design them. And so a lot of them were not notable. But the Pinbot's a great game. People love that. You can find a player conditioned Pinbot. Dr. Dude was a Gottlieb, and that's a later Gottlieb. So Dr. Dude was a System 80B Gottlieb. I think Dr. Dude was an. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Look on Pinside for me. Is 88. I believe Dr. Dude was pre-DMD, but post it is alphanumeric, the same way that that Funhouse is, if I remember correctly. Smack, smack. Ha ha! Got them both. Someone clip that for me. That was beautiful. That's 3 jackpots on this quick multi-ball. And I lost it. That was good. That coil, Lich, I'm telling you, the coil over on my left side here is beautiful. Did you see that? Coils don't refresh that quick. This machine's warmed up and loves me right now. If you watch the beginning part of the stream, the machine was not warmed up and it hated me. And then it does stuff like that after it says it loves me. Need to text my lovely wife, Megan. Let it be, let it be. Come on, everybody, get your lighters out. Wait for Let it be. That's all I got. Almost up there. Oh, damn, what was I thinking? Yeah, I would not touch the home edition. They didn't change much, which is interesting and telling. So it's a home pin, so it has no coin door. So it only does free play, which is fine. I mean, who cares? The interesting thing is, I believe both the slingshots run off the same coil, and the 3 pop bumpers run off the same coil. And the reason they did that was to cut down on money. So they don't have to, you know, but coils aren't that expensive, so I'm not exactly sure how much they're really saving there. And it's going to be very interesting to see what those pins, well, it's going to be first interesting to see how those pins sell. Especially coming out so late. And then I think the interesting thing for me to see is what's the resale value on a home pin going to be. Is there going to be a resale market for them at all, is the question, really. And I'm kind of hoping that Stern is going to move to a different model than they are currently. I need to stall a ball somewhere. There we go. Sit in the pop bumpers. Sit there for a while. Not just a second. There we go. I just did. Oh, come on. I just lost that damn ball again because I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. Oh! That was close. Alright, let's load an extra ball up. That's not how you load an extra ball up. how you load an extra ball up. Oh! Get the extra ball! Music was getting distracting for me. I'm getting hungry. So I said I was going to play till about 9, and it is 4 minutes of 9. So we'll play this game, maybe another one or two, and then we'll go raid somebody. I think Rudy Soup is on Buffalo at the moment. He's always entertaining. We'll see what he's playing. There's a new guy playing Total Nuclear Annihilation. I've streamed that game before. That's a lot of fun, but I'll see whatever anyone else is streaming too. I tend not to like raiding players who play newer games. I'm definitely a person who likes people who play more classic games. And Rudy Soup usually, he has a nice collection of early solid state Bally's, and he's entertaining. So we'll probably finish this game up and call it a night. Megan will be home soon with some dinner, I hope, and I will be able to eat something. Thanks for hanging out and playing pinball in my basement with me tonight. A lot of fun. He keeps dropping that ball. I need to clean the magnet on him. I did all the work on the Addams Family. Again, I don't do any cosmetic work, so the playfield on this does have some wear. It wasn't a home use only game, so it definitely had a life someplace. You know, but I don't do full restores, so I don't do paint work. So the playfield wear that's down here on the bottom of these inserts, it's gonna stay that way because that's the way I like it. It's original. I did completely shop it myself, so all new rubbers, new flipper coils, plungers, links, ends of stroke switches, all of the stuff that you do to a machine to make it perfect playing condition. Go through all the coils. Some people don't do this, but I actually go and check the resistance on all of my coils when I get a new machine. And I make sure that it's within the spec of the resistance that it's supposed to be. You can do that easily with a regular standard multimeter. And that's just kind of your sanity check to make sure that your coils are right. Some machines that takes a while, some machines it takes no time at all. Early EMs, they have a lot of coils because you have switch matrices that do your logic, so you have to check all of them. And then I go through and I clean the machines, obviously. I clean the play field, clean every mechanism that you can. I take out all the plastics, all the ramps, all the everything, and got killed by the stall ball. Why couldn't I have stalled that ball earlier when I had 3 on the playfield? So, you know, I go through all the coils. I take everything off the playfield, ramps, Every light bulb comes out of it. I put soft white LEDs in all my older EM machines, and I put the newer machines like this one. They get soft whites on the top of the playfield and bright whites or bright colors underneath the playfield. I don't like bright colors or in bright lights on top of the playfield. I think they're a little distracting personally. And I clean all the plastics. I clean everything multiple times, and then you put it all back together and hope that it works. And then you troubleshoot, and you troubleshoot, and you troubleshoot. So there's that. What would I say the best parts supplier for older pins? So it depends what manufacturer. I will say that. So when it comes to parts for pins, a lot of the... that was a waste. A lot of the pinball parts people... I should make a video about this for my YouTube channel. So a lot of the pinball parts people... I'm going to play one more. This is the last game. But I want to answer this question for Knocker. So, a lot of the pinball parts people don't have good websites. The exception to that is Marco Specialties. And Marco Specialties, their website is organized by manufacturer, by pin. So you can literally go up to their website. They got a great first search function. Marco is really easy to use. The shipping is quick. It's what you expect from an e-commerce type company. They ship next day or the day after, and it gets to you fast. But they don't have everything, especially when it comes to Gottlieb machines. Person who has Gottlieb machine parts is Steve Young at Pinball Resource. And he has a website that has all his parts on it and his part numbers, but you have to order by calling, faxing, or emailing him, and he does not accept credit cards. So you have to either mail him a check and prepay, or set up a net 15, net 30 account with him if you do a lot. And he will ship you the parts and then invoice you later. But you can't go on at night and just, I need these parts in a shopping cart and hit submit. But Steve Young bought the license rights to reproduce parts for Gottlieb machines. And so he has the largest selection of Gottlieb new old stock and new original OEM parts. And I put that in quotes because he's remaking them, and so that they're technically new OEM parts. Just as if you bought a new part, for your Dodge Ram from, or it's actually just Ram now, isn't it? It would be like getting a Mopar part for a Jeep. Let's put it that way. And he is a fantastic person as well. And that's, when it comes to parts, coils, plastics, all that kind of stuff, there are a lot of great small companies that you can get either new old stock or, parts from. There's quite a few out there. I should publish a list of who I use on a regular basis. Mayfair is one of them. He's a company out of New York, I believe. He goes around to the shows and does shows. I'm trying to think. All right, one more. But when it really comes down to it, depending on what machine you're looking for parts for, my suggestion is to look at Marco. He's a little bit more, but he has everything. And then secondarily, if you're doing Gottlieb specific, Steve Young will have everything you need all the time. Anything that those two guys don't have, you can usually find for sale on Pinside. Because people are constantly finding games that are not worth anything restoring and breaking them down and giving them a new life. But Marco really is my one-stop shop. Now, when it comes to things like LED light bulbs, when it comes to things like rubbers, there's better places than either one of those two to get those. For light bulbs, if you're doing old EMs, early Gottlieb, stuff, even late Gottlieb EMs, you can actually buy the cheapest bulbs possible off of Pinball Life. They've got a good selection of very inexpensive LEDs. If you're gonna stick with Bally Williams, you'll be fine getting everything through Marco. He has everything. If you want good light bulbs, there's a couple of really good LED bulb companies. Most people look at Comet. They're pretty much known to have good quality LEDs with a low failure rate. After Comet, another one, Lights Out Pinball, who has pinball kits. When it comes to rubbers, you can buy rubbers anywhere. Buy the cheapest person you find, they're all the same. When it comes to white ones. When it comes to black ones, pretty much you can buy them anywhere. I buy mine from Marco as kits. If I'm going silicone, I buy Titan. And this machine, I may go Titan rubbers in it. I do have over here. So I'll let you all in on a little secret, okay? The real reason why I go out and stream with Todd is because he gives me free parts when I'm there. Like, Addams Family here has a brand new set of powder-coated legs on it that Todd gave me because I needed a set of legs, and he told me to, hey, go over there, they're all on the shelf, feel free to pick any of them. I'm like, well, even the ones you just got back from powder coatings? Oh yeah, you want powder-coated legs? Take powder-coated legs. And they didn't charge me for them. And the same thing with my little light bulb bag and rubbers here. Last time I was there, I was asking him, and I'm willing to pay for these things. I was in there and I said to him, hey, I need this stuff to, replace some LEDs in a machine. What do I owe you? And he's like, oh, just buy me lunch. And then when we went out for lunch, he wouldn't let me buy him lunch. But I got from him all purple rubber posts. Here, if I put this in the right spot, I might be able to see it on both cameras. There you go. That I'm going to put in across Addams Family. So I have all of those. But I have to break it down to get to all of those spots, and I haven't done that yet. So a lot of machines, you can just put LEDs in. There are certain generations of early 80s machines that the LED bulbs will flicker, and you need to change out some resistors. And on other machines, they actually make an aftermarket board that you can put in, so that you don't have to change all of the resistors under the playfield. You just put this board in instead, and then the LEDs won't flicker. My suggestion is, if you're going to buy LEDs, and it is a solid-state machine, just do a quick little investigation on Pinside about the machine. They'll tell you if you need that special board in the head or if you need to remove resistors. Most machines you don't have to. The important thing is you need to buy non-ghosting LED light bulbs. And what that means is the incandescent bulbs that came in these machines, they would turn the voltage down to a point, and you can't see my hands, but they turn the voltage down to a point where the bulb wouldn't be on. But the LEDs use so little power that they actually can be powered off that light bit of voltage. And so they glow a little bit, and it's not good for the bulbs, and it gives it a bad halo effect. So buy non-ghosting bulbs. There is a brand literally called Ghostbusters that makes good bulbs, as well as many others. And I will say about LEDs, let me grab one thing while we're talking about this. Let me look through this real quick. This here is my bulb bin. I have 2 totes like this full of bulbs. Some of these are regular incandescent bulbs. I still do use regular light bulbs in certain points. On this machine, everything is LED except the flashers. So these flashers here, I felt were way too bright with LEDs in them, so I didn't put LEDs in. These are soft white frosted. That's not what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. So through some of the websites, you can get a sample bag, and I have a few of them in around the house here. I have extra sockets. I have everything in this box. But this is actually what I was looking for, so I'm going to slide this up here for a second. So this came as a set, and I have two different ones of this. But as you can, oops, dropping stuff everywhere. Where'd that go? And as you can see here, these are the bayonet style bulbs and LEDs. These are the premium Ghostbusters 1 LED flexible. These are what Todd calls bendies. Bendies, patent pending. And this little bag came inside a big bag, and I don't remember how much I paid for it. But in this bag, this little bag, there are, looks like 5. And one's red, one's green, one's yellow, one's orange, one's purple, one's blue. And then there's usually a white one in there. I don't remember how many actually. Looks like on average you get about 7 bulbs per little bag. And they're all different types. So this is a 3 LED. And this is a premium Ghostbuster clear dome, so it's unfrosted. And I have the frosted ones right here as well. And what I use these for is, instead of buying a kit that somebody else picked out all the bulbs for my system, and I'm just following a chart putting the bulbs in, what I actually do is I buy these, and these have one of everything. And so I figure out what I think looks best in all the places, get the number count, and then I order the correct amount, or I usually order more, but I at least know what the convex and concave and frosted and non-frosted and all that is. And this bag is not expensive. So you get that, and that is your test kit. And you put your bulbs in where you think you want them, and you make sure you get the look and the feel that you wanted on the play field. And then you order what you need in quantity, and you put them in. And I do that because I don't have the luxury of having a giant rack on my wall like Todd and professionals do, where they have all the bulbs and they can just pull them as they go and change them out if they don't like them. So I thoroughly, for you, Knocker, when you do your first machine, just buy one of these. Find out what type of bulb it takes. Buy this kit of everything. Play around with it. Figure out what you like, and then order what you think is best. Here's the other one. This one's from Pinball Life. Sells this one here. This is the wedge base, the 555 bulbs. Which is more common of what this would use. And so in here, just like that other bag, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different types of bulbs. Everything frosted, unfrosted, convex, concave, 3 LEDs, 1 LEDs, bendies. It's all in one bag. And each one of them, as you can see, has each color in it. So you have white and red and orange and blue for each one. You get to try them out. And if you find someplace like your little shooter thing here that you need 1 purple LED for and you don't feel like ordering it, you steal it from that kit. And you put a socket in there, and now you got a purple thing. So that is the world of LEDs by Jillian. Again, I'm going to cut tonight's stream short, so thank you all for joining. I'm going to hit the end stream button now. Everybody hang on, we're going to raid somebody really quick. So I'm going to put up the end stream graphic. I'm going to run over to my computer, and we're going to find somebody to raid. And then we will cut the stream and hop in somebody else and watch them. I think Rudy Soup's on, but I'm going to see who else is there. So give me 1 second, everybody. I'll call you back in 1 minute. Yeah, I think we're gonna raid Rudy Soup on Buffalo Pinball. So everybody just hold on a second. I love rating people. Rating is fun. So let's do this.